Helloskis. Welcome to a galaxy far, far away. I am your game master, sometimes antagonist, sometimes cuddly friend. Your King Ginger, Darth Ginger. This is episode 4 of a 3-part Star Wars game. Oh, and there will be a part 5 because I know what's going to happen. So why don't we go around the table and introduce thyself, your characters, and why don't you tell us where and what your character was doing at the end of last session.
All right, I am Nate. I am playing Celestin Bounty Hunter Cam Mesa. And we may all die, and this will be the last episode. You never know. I'll keep saying that until it happens.
I mean, I can make dreams come true, Nate.
I mean, that's not my dream. I'm just we drive it like we stole it.
Oh, you're the one who's talking about it.
It's frighteningly true.
Last episode, I'm pretty sure I was in front of the door to what seems to be some sort of torture chamber full of Imperial officers who probably have some sweet, sweet credentials that maybe I'll take. We'll see.
I make no promises.
I'm Warrior. I'm playing Honk Khaleesi, a Jawa medic. Currently a recovering hostage, palling around with a
You
Jedi.
forgot that you're also a hostage taker.
I only briefly.
Or you could be a hostage apprentice?
I don't have any hostages anymore. Everyone's willing now.
Now.
Who's the hostage? Who's the hostage?
You had hostages.
Tutu got his drugs and was totally into the journey. So I think we're hostage free at this point. Also, it was an unintentional hostage, not a purposeful hostage. So
it still counts.
Just saying.
I think you originally were an unintended hostage.
I mean,
not that I'm backtracking and defending the boys, but it was kind of a dire situation.
It was a dire situation.
You were just a friend we hadn't met yet.
There you go.
All right. Hey, I'm James. I'm playing Rorku Bomb, an innocent Trandoshan bystander. I'm hanging out, and all these things keep happening to me. I don't know what's going on, but I'm good friends with Cam, and I'm here for a good time, not a long time. If you know what I'm saying. Pew pew. May the force be with you.
Honk, where were you at the end of last episode? And then where were you at the end of last episode?
At the end of last episode, I was on my way with a Jedi and Wilbur to go see Ord Mantell.
Rorku.
And I was hanging with my acquaintance Cam, and we just opened a door, and there may have been a smooshy smashed interrogation droid and 3 Imperials that looked they looked real shady. As an innocent Trandoshan bystander, this is not the kind of people I mess around with, you know?
I'm Matt. I'm Wilbur. I'm a Gamorrean bounty hunter, former shock boxer. I'm with Honk and Tutu and the Jedi whose name I'm blanking on, and we're on our way to Ord Mantell. Or at Ord Mantell, I can't remember which, but
you were just hit the hyperdrive for Ord Mantell.
There we go. So we're there by now. It's fine.
Yeah,
unless our hyperdrive goes wildly awry again, but that won't happen. That's something.
Your hyperdrive got sweet talked by your hollow girlfriend.
That's right. So yeah, that's where I'm at and where we'll be.
Last but not least, our ace pilot.
I'm Joel. I'm playing 2R15T, the droid pilot. His alias, so no one will recognize him. Last time we ended up, while Rorku and Cam were coming across Mushy Boys on a little bit of a moon, I was working on salvaging, not stealing, not looting, salvaging from that same ship that we had very little to do with its destruction, to try and fix up my baby, Dolores X, including a boost to the sublight drive. So she's going to be feistier than she was before.
A little bit more maneuverable.
And potentially days to weeks from now, she'll be fixed and we can head towards Ord Mantell.
So Honk and Wilbur, you are on board the Lambda class shuttle that you liberated from that Imperial stripped down space station that you found. You're alongside a Jedi named Noel Yanich, a body modifier and a tech guy, and recovering STEM addict, Tutu, and your Honk, your faithful droid companion, 2MB, who now has functional legs and one janky arm. You come out of hyperspace and you are right in the system because Ord Mantell lies directly on a hyperspace lane. You actually jump directly to Ord Mantell. A massive world covered in industrial lights everywhere. The planet looks like it's on fire with all the lights that are going on. You do have from Hollow your AI guidance. I can't really tell you what she should be called. Assistant,
Lady friend.
Lady friend. You do have the coordinates to the Sparkling Secret, which is a casino platform in the orbit of Ord Mantell. What is your plan?
Well, why are we at a casino?
Well, that's what I was supposed to be doing with all those other people that you sort of met.
Well, you were going to go
I mean,
gambling?
if you want, I guess. I mean, that's not why I'm going there, but
Well, I mean, what were you coming here for?
bounty hunting.
Oh,
Yeah, that's that's how we get paid. We're
Matt, do you remember as Matt why you're supposed to be there?
Very, very vaguely.
Okay. You were hired to go to the Sparkling Secret and meet with two partisan agents.
That's
A Ewood Gore and a Clatoonian pilot named Lork. They supposedly have pertinent information on a Imperial project that's coming to fruition soon that some allies of Alari Marin, financial allies, want to make sure that meets some significant stalling, if not ending. So your job was to meet them there, but that it was going to be some type of possible auction for the information, because there were definitely other interested parties.
can't imagine we're not terribly late by now, but
You're pretty sure they gave you a window of time.
okay. It's a closed bid sort of deal. Everybody do their thing. Take the best after a week or two. Yeah.
And rich people fashionably late.
Yeah, they're gonna buy me the Jedi and the janky droid.
I also don't think you have the credits on you.
No,
I believe that TR has all the credits. Maybe. So do you two want to dock your ship here, or do you want to do anything else ahead of time?
I mean, Alari would have got us set up with lodgings and
Mhm.
credentials and all that stuff. I can't think of anything else that we want to do before we go there. Personally,
Also, as a reminder, 2-2 and 2-1B loaded a whole bunch of stuff onto this shuttle.
Oh, yeah, we opened like a ton of shit.
yeah, we don't know what that is. Maybe we should make sure there isn't anything in there. We need to shove out the airlock first.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. How long did hyperspace take? Can we say we did that on the way?
Not very long because you actually weren't as far as you thought.
All right. Yeah, we can go see what we got if you want.
Yeah, I don't
Cool,
want
for your friends or whatever.
anybody to pop in here and say, "Oh, look, you're full of, rebels or
Yeah.
whatever." they
Yeah,
have."
we can take a look. Hey, Noel, you into this casino bounty hunting info auction situation, or do you need to get going to address the void of absence of being or whatever?
Well, once we left the area around that ship, I don't quite notice the void. It was as if it was localized on the ship itself. Where am I going to go? I promised you that I would. You saved me that I would see things through, and I am a man of my word.
All right, sure. Toby, you wanna do this, or do you wanna Wilbur be joined with his friends? We can go. So like me.
Captain, or excuse me, Doctor,
Mhm.
I would like to allow Tutu to continue to improve this. Turns his head and he looks at janky arm. Appendage. I find it to be currently substandard.
All right. That sounds reasonable. Well, let's see what we got here then, and we'll go from there.
So you recognize they put a couple, and by couple I think we'll say there's 4 speeder bikes on the that have been loaded. There is a lifter droid that's currently powered all the way down, has a restraining bolt on. There's a large amount of like crates. Once you start popping crates, you do find that many of them just have stock and trade, some weapons and just survival gear. I mean, just basic military gear, stormtrooper armor. Less of that, more of like, you know what? Retcon that. No stormtrooper armor, but they do have Imperial Marine. Is that really armor? I know. I almost bless you. I almost said costumes, but they're not costumes. Uniforms.
Uniforms.
My brain just went way. They just play dress up. It's just dress up.
Yeah.
Clothes packages.
You do though find 3 crates that are locked. You do not have the information to unlock them.
Got a guy with a lightsaber.
Same.
Are
What?
you saying, "Hey, man, hey, Noel, you want to
Wanna
Use
What
your
else?
ancient and powerful ceremonial weapon and open some doors.
crates?
He kind of looks at both of you, and he's kind of okay, kind of soft and goes, "All right."
It's like a birthday party.
Beep, 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 beep. Through them. You open them up. One of them has a small body in some sort of stasis field.
I'll look at the body medically.
The body's dead. It's just being preserved.
What kind of body is it?
It is a you're not familiar with the race, but it looks to be a child of of some race that you're not familiar with, wearing brown robes.
This ring a bell for you, Noel? Huh?
He looks down. He just kind of gets real quiet and stares at it for a little while, and he shuts it. He says, "We need to dispose of this."
Is there a specific way we should do that, respectfully, or?
Preferably.
Well, I mean, like, is there a way to do it that is respectful? I don't know the customs, is what I'm asking. Not like, I'm not going to dump it in space.
I don't know that particular person's customs, but this is an affrontage.
Okay. Sure. All right. We can table that. Put a pin in it. Put it in the parking lot. Sorry, I guess.
There's nothing to be sorry about.
All right. Hey, I was thinking on the hyperspace right over here. What?
We should look in these other two crates, though, and then we should get rid of that.
Okay, let's do that.
You pop the other two crates, and they're both full of what look to be looted antiquities. And he has a very similar demeanor about them, just kind of like a underlying seething indignity. Not rage, just like sick to his stomach over this. To the point where after kind of seeing what's in there, he just walks out of the bay.
Where are you going? Hey. Yeah. All right, well.
All right. We'll just leave these then. He's done right by us. I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with it. We'll seal the crates back up and figure out what to do with the body.
When you're looking at the antiquities, you do realize again that these are Old Republic, and these are most likely Jedi artifacts. Which kind of also clicks that the young person in the stasis was probably some type of Jedi training.
Did we take the life pod that Noel was in?
No.
The pod.
No.
Yeah, you guys left your front of your ship and the escape pod, and his life pod. Your ship was still floating out in a hunk. And the other stuff got left at the base.
I was going to say we could put in that if we had one. I don't know what to do. Well, he'll just use his. It's not like he's unaccustomed to seeing like dead bodies. I think he's weirded out because he's like, this feels like it should be special or something, and I don't want to do it wrong, but like he can put it through the.
It's a dead kid who's been preserved, which just feels not.
No, it's weird. Like, yeah, it's weird. It's weirding me out. But he said we should take care of it. So Honk will find something suitable that he can eject out into space.
You look around and you find something a little more ostentatious, and put the body in it, and you can fire it off.
Okay.
You can send it on a trajectory towards the sun if you so choose.
Sure, I'll do that. I'll go find Noel and just be like, hey, I got everything.
He just puts a hand up and he just says, "Thank you. I do greatly appreciate it. But if we can just not speak of this, I would appreciate it as well."
Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. All right. I will stop talking to the hand and
No,
go.
I mean no disrespect. It's my apologies.
All right.
It's just
No, it's a lot. I get it. It's no, I'm just feeling a little weird myself. So I don't need to put that on your shoulders. So I'll just go. I'll go take
nor
care of
eye
this.
on yours, my friend.
Thanks.
He kind of takes a moment, and he you can tell that he looks like he's just trying to grit through it, and he like it's just finally kicking in that when you guys said, "Oh, Jedi's are you don't see them around. If you do, you don't see them around for long." Like that is actually like setting in. Like, fuck, they're all dead, and now this is like this too.
It's okay. He'll sort of pat him on the thigh or whatever. He's not very tall, and he'll just shoulder a sort of way, and then he'll go launch the pod into the sun respectfully.
When you come back from launching it in to the sun, he has changed clothes and is dressed in kind of a mishmash of the clothing found in the crates, as well as a blaster, and he's in a little pouch on his belt. He's hiding his lightsaber. He's not holding it like out.
It's probably smart thinking there. So
Yeah.
Dress for the job. He kind of smiles.
that's right.
So if this empire is what led to the dissolution of the order, you're telling me what we're doing is a hindrance to them.
Yeah. This will really
Then
stick it to
you
him right in the butt.
then you have me at your side. I have nothing else. So this is what we're going to do.
Well, appreciate the help. We're down most of my team here. I don't know how to get in touch with them, so an extra blaster or whatever is welcome. Thank you.
Right. Well, I'm ready to help you, help him, help his friends, help fuck over the Empire. So
Your
let's
ship
go.
Your ship gets hailed by the Sparkling Secret
Hello,
because you're coming into dock.
we're docking.
We need your identification code for your ship. It does not match any of the vehicles that we currently have reservations for.
Yeah, there's been some transit issues. Holly, any assistance you can provide with this?
Hollow pops up and she does a very disturbing straight-legged bend over in front of a computer, like almost like a little diorama thing, and just starts typing like mad, looks back and winks at you, and a new set of responder codes. And you hear the person on the other end, "Oh, wait, mistake on our end. Your make and model is incorrect, but the transponder code is correct. You know what? No questions asked. Here's your docking number."
Appreciate your assistance.
Once the relay cuts off, Noel looks at both of you and says, "I find in my past business that when they don't ask any questions, that means they don't ask any questions about anything. That could be good for us or bad for us."
It'll be both.
Yeah, it'll probably be bad.
He kind of smiles and he says, "Well, then I guess it's time to stick our feet in it." And the docking clamps lock onto the Lambda, and the shuttle bay door starts to drop. Meanwhile, on this moon, you're going through the remains of this destroyed ship that was once part of the droid crush pirates of Bastoon's small fleet in the area. Cam and Rorku, you have found 3 dead Imperial officers who were, it looks like they were in the process of being interrogated. Anything you guys want to do?
Yeah. When listening back to the previous episode and reviewing my notes, I did not realize that these 3 Imperials were dead. No, I thought that they were alive.
No.
No, they dead.
Loot the bodies. See if they have any. Information.
On them. No, they've been pretty much stripped down.
Ooh.
The only reason you could tell they're officers is because of their clothing that's been neatly cut off and then folded. But as far as identification and any type of other items on their person, they're not in the room.
Okay.
Thought for sure they'd be on the little side table.
Do we see any markings on the body? Any burns or blaster shots?
You do. You see, of course, evidence of asphyxiation because when you guys shot into the ship, the atmosphere went bye-bye, and because it was controlled by droids, the droids were like, I don't care. But their 3 prisoners apparently did.
Already. Yeah.
You see there is some definite needle markings. You also see some injuries that look like they had been treated with some Bacta, just enough to not leave incredibly permanent markings currently. You do see a lot of interchangeable apparatus for the interrogator droid kind of attached to a fold out from the wall that were in obvious use at one point. Some still have humanoid fluid on them.
Okay.
Whatever happened to these 3, you're pretty sure when it was over at least a few weeks, and it was very unpleasant.
Okay. How do their uniforms look?
They've been cut down the middle all the way, and then on the sides, and then removed and folded.
So
Like they were removed off of them.
So we could maybe
Take
sew
them,
those back up with some, Velcro, tear away something sexy, for the gang.
While you guys
Doing
ponder
that,
I was going to say, while they ponder that, 2R, what are you doing?
so 2R walks into the room where they're at because he's still, I need to pull shielding off of the ship, anything to patch our ship up. So on the scavenging, he walks in the room they're in and says, "Oh, hello. Oh, good fortune. A medical droid. This will be helpful on our ship." And he begins to disconnect the interrogator droid to move it into our med bay.
That's more for interrogation, not so much for healing.
For hurting, not healing.
Right.
This helps with biological functions, correct?
Not so much helping. I mean, if you want to use it on people that aren't your friends, it would probably work real well.
I love the idea of you two in atmospheric suits, and you're trying to explain this to 2R, who's just standing there, completely has no emotional change, because the droid is just like, this, I do not see the issue with this.
But it has extensive knowledge of anatomy and physiology, correct?
You're not wrong.
Perfect. I will continue.
Tuar, could you at least check around and see if we could get some actual back to? I mean, the droid will be very useful, and I think that obviously we have use for it in our line of work, but perhaps we should find things that we could use to support our lifestyle.
Correct.
And not,
medical assistance.
yeah, well, further medical assistance, things that could that can assess, but the Bacta can actually heal, at least.
Oh no, it has appendages and all sorts of useful tools for working on soft fleshy bodies. You will thank me when injured.
I have no doubt in my mind. How's all the other retrofitting going? What could we do? Where else? What else do you need besides medical bay droids?
Additionally, we will need materials to patch up the outside of the ship, replace some shielding, and I would not be adverse to anything that would help bolster the armaments of Delore XS. But one thing at a time.
Do we have a schematic of this ship, Tuar? Have you been able to tap into the computer?
Of the one we are salvaging from, or Delore XS?
Of the salvage ship.
I have been unable to gain anything of that nature, in part because the ship no longer looks like its original form.
Darth, may I perform a trust my instincts to think about where we should potentially go next from here?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, we're not terribly familiar with this, I don't believe. So
No, and you have no idea where you are.
Yeah. How about a 7?
What are you trying to?
I'm trying to kind of like get a lay of the land from where we've been so far and what Tuar told us about kind of where he's salvaging, about like, he's going to keep doing his thing. And Cam and we basically decided we were best suited, if we're going to be here for a while, to try to explore the ship and find things that would be useful. So, just thinking about, if there's a place we feel like we could gain information about this, or, think about cargo holds, armory, things like that.
Navigational equipment would also be useful.
Cargo holds would be good. If your ship has a portable energy pack, you could probably fire up enough of the primary computer's functions to gain schematics and inventory lists and the like, but that's basically, there's not a lot else because neither of you are really suited for mechanics. You do also realize that there's other salvageable equipment floating in the atmosphere.
You want to go on a spacewalk, buddy?
Maybe eventually. I think I still want to look and see if I can find those officer credentials. They could come in handy.
Would I be able to give them like an equipment list?
Yeah, you can give them one that they'll be able to easily follow.
With like 3D diagrams of what the part would look like.
Yeah, with like your customized schematic of what you want, what you want to try to take off this ship if it's workable.
Yeah. So I'll do that to help that listing.
One thing Rorku and Cam realize when looking at that list is this is going to take time. The more you try to trick out Dolores with all this salvage, I mean, it'll be really good, And if you can get it all attached and running correctly, it's going to be a hell of a ship. But it's really just one person doing the work, even if it is a droid who doesn't sleep. But between the actual salvage portion of it, the refining of the material, and the integration of it, it's going to take. It could take weeks.
Yeah, and I'm just giving them the list of like what we need to be able to fly where we want to go. Like, we need to be able to seal up the holes. We need to be able to get the hyperdrive back online. We need navigation to figure out where we are. So he's not looking for anything extraneous, although the extraneous things that are on the list are like, we can put them in the cargo hold for later.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, Cam, Rorku, what are you doing? What are each of you taking on?
I'm not. Well, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm still stuck on those Imperial credentials.
So you want to search the ship for basically the holds and any areas that might contain sensitive, we'll say, information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you want to get the power source to fire the systems up to hopefully find that?
Yeah, that's probably the best route.
Okay. Rorku, what are you doing?
Cam, if you feel like you need help with that, I'm happy to tag along. Otherwise, also happy to go find some, the boom boom room to add some pew pew to our arsenal, because I feel like 2R would be very pleased with that.
Yeah, we may as well separate and go opposite ways.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Also, if you find any armor, stormtrooper armor, not only a good disguise, sensible.
No stormtrooper. I mean, these were officers. They weren't wearing stormtrooper armor.
Oh, I meant like if he found any as he was going through the ship that we should collect some. It also helps with your.
As you're doing your fixes to R, recognizing as you have that you've stabilized life support, but it isn't getting better.
Yeah, I was going to say that is not one of the priorities.
Yeah.
They have suits.
So I would like you to make me a act under fire roll as you're trying to expedite and prioritize.
Okay.
Also, as we both know, TR is very easily fixated on certain things to maybe the detriment of some other things.
How dare you?
Just speaking the truth. The tenant like it is, baby.
Well, and he's not even like, he's just trying to be considerate by getting the medical droid, but he's not installing it yet.
Mm-hmm. It needs some work.
And that would be, you said act under fire, which is a 0, so 11.
You are able to prioritize so well that your efficiency is improved. You feel like you've literally cut days off the process just by re-examining what you have to do compared to some additions you wanted to make in the interim. That you're realizing, well, if I just store the equipment, I can make these adjustments on the fly later. But first and foremost, getting off of this rock has become my primary. Cam, I would like you to read a stitch as you kind of make your way through the ship and begin to snoop.
All right. Ooh, let's see. That is a 10.
You gain access to the rudimentary functions of the computer using like an energy cell off of the Dolores. It takes a little while for it to boot up because there's been some significant damage to the systems, but When it does, finally, you hear over the system in one of the mechanical rooms, Buzzard 1 reporting for duty.
Right. So it sounds like there's a droid that just powered up, basically.
You'll remember that these were all droids.
Yeah.
Including their ships. So.
All right. And what was the name?
Buzzard 1.
Buzzard 1.
Scanning commencing. 3 life forms are detected upon, or 2 life forms are detected upon the ship.
I was like, no.
Buzzard 1, can you help me find the credentials for the Imperials that are currently in the interrogation chamber?
Identification, please.
This is Cam Ameza, your new owner.
Owner. Define owner.
Let me rephrase that. Your new captain.
Inquiry. Where is previous captain and crew? Buzzard 1 is a member of the Bastoon, the Crush Pirates of Bastoon. Where are other members of crew as well as captain?
They had a thing that had to go.
It goes real quiet for way too long.
Didn't they tell you?
Life form. Lie detected.
Oh.
You have an elevated heart rate. I am a machine. You are a life form. My detection abilities are superior to yours. Do not attempt to lie again, or I will be forced to activate defense measures.
Oh, what defense measures do you have?
You have not answered previous question. Scanning.
Well,
and 2 red lights just from front to back start to go over your body.
well, unfortunately, your former crew attacked us, and we were forced to defend ourselves. They did not survive.
Captain and crew have been destroyed.
Correct.
Primary mission of Buzzard 1, then, is to complete mission. A captain goes down with their vessel, and a little thing pops up and starts to flip down very quickly.
What if I unpower the ship?
I don't know. You're going to try to unpower the ship?
Yes. Yes, I will.
That sounds like a good idea, Cam. How about you act under fire, please?
All right. Well, I also have a 0 on that, so let's see how this goes. That's a 7.
You're able to, you go, oh, okay, and then you reach down and just try to yank all of it out before you're hit with a significant electrical charge. You are unable to unplug it fully, but you've definitely cut a great deal of the power to the systems down. You are you take a wound.
All right. So the timer is still going, but slower?
Very slow now. Even the voice from Buzzard 1 is like, life form, prepare to be.
Before it finishes that, can I complete cutting the power?
you can make me another act under fire roll as you see like little prod pieces have popped out of little holes in the area.
11.
You kind of faint and two of those prods kind of come out, and then you drop down and just kick the cell out of the way, and all the plugs pop out and the ship goes boom.
Oh, that didn't work out great.
Well, you did try to lie to a machine.
Yeah. I mean, I told
And
the
you
truth
kept the
eventually,
ship
but
from blowing up.
I did. I'm going to radio to Rorku and 2R. Don't power up the ship. It's going to want to kill us.
So before you do that, Rorku, what were you doing? Talking with your mute on.
Comms were down. I was trying to find the armory.
So while Cam is doing his thing, at the same time you're making your way through the ship, and you're kind of like lamenting the fact that there's no power because opening these doors sucks with no power. Emergency power kicks on. Low emergency lighting comes on, and you realize some of these doors you now have access to. You come to the first door, and there's not much in it. It's more like, it looks like to you, more like scrap parts, maybe auxiliary parts, or even an area for repair. Second room looks like a nav center for plotting long-range hyperspace jumps, as well as just having a massive hyperspace database, especially a lot of information, it looks like, on shipping routes. These are pirates, so they most likely were jumping shipping vessels. The third room you come into looks to be some sort of armory. You go in, there's a lot of blasters and different smaller ordnance, but a lot of it, if not all of it, looks like it's built to be attached to droids and gain power through their subsystems. So without a secondary power source, it's pretty much useless. As you're kind of going through it, the lights in the room flicker, and then the door behind you zoop, shuts, and you hear a clink, 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 clink.
Oh, that's not good.
A few small droids, about the size of my fist, that look like little balls, pop legs out. Each of them having a small rotating saw and a tiny little like electrical prod device, all activate and start scuttling towards you.
Oh, buzz droids. Why did it have to be buzz droids?
What are you gonna do?
Can I raise cam on my comm?
Currently, no.
I would then like to pull out my blasters.
Yep, you go for your guns. These things are coming at you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to pull out my little hold out blaster and my whipcord and try to start keeping these things off me.
All right, lay it on me.
All right. I'm going to shoot these guys. I'm going to assault them. So that would be hard, right?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Wow, I rolled double ones. I have a +3, so it's a 5, but still not good.
So you go and you're like, boom, 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 and they're moving rather like almost herky-jerky, like they're not really fully activated. Yeah. It's actually a little harder to shoot them because of that. So you don't manage to hit any of them. So you rear back with the other hand with your whip, yeah. And that's when you feel the first bite into your flesh and through your flight suit as a saw rips through your Achilles tendon.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize there's a few more of these behind you, and they're on you already. Take a wound, please.
Aren't you
Okay.
glad I got the medical droid?
God damn it, Joel. All right. Taking a wound. Yeesh. Can I still walk?
You're hurting. Like you'll regenerate. I believe Trandoshans regenerate. It just takes time. But this for now is hobbling you pretty severely.
Okay. Man, I'm not sure what to do here. What do I see in terms of
You're being surrounded by 7 droids.
I'm going to look around. I'd like to read a sitch and see if I can see anything I could use my vibro whip to, like.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Ah, well, that was better. 7.
You
Not
see that you can whip one of the piping systems above you and pull yourself up to about 15 feet. But these things you've noticed can crawl on the walls. So you can get up there and it can buy you a little bit of time, but it's not a long-term solution. And that's when you feel another little sting of one of the electrical prods hit you. Doesn't do any damage, but it's you're realizing the urgency of your situation.
Yeah, I think
At that time, a red light goes off in the room, and you see kind of a digital countdown in droid script running very, very quickly, and a very hushed alarm going off, and you hear a countdown for self-destruct of the ship.
At that point, I'm going to start to panic and start to my comm and like bang it against my thing. Like
Comms appear to be jammed.
Son of a.
I was gonna say I thought you got jammed for a second. You like froze up.
Okay, so I'm going to use my my leg that is functional. Try to spin myself around so I can start like being mobile and try to pick as many of these bad boys up as I can.
So I didn't quite hear any of that. Are you trying to like whip yourself up, pull yourself up so you can shoot, so you've got a little bit of space?
Yeah. So when I pull myself up, then I'm going to kind of like swing my leg around, the one that works, so I can start kind of spinning myself like while I'm holding, so I can start to kind of like see what's around me and see like if I can see where this is. Like I can see the countdown, but like I want to see.
Yeah. Why don't you act under fire for me?
Oh man, I'd like nothing better. All right, that's much better. How about a 9?
Yeah, you get a little momentum. You like wrap your hand in your cord and like haul yourself up and kick yourself off and start moving. You're like, boo, 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 boo. And you're making some headway in destroying some of these. And then your cord jerks a little bit and you look up and there's 2 droids sawing through it.
Buzz droids.
And that's when it snaps and you hit the floor. And they begin to encroach upon you menacingly.
That's not good.
And that's when the lights go out. You close your eyes for a second, you open them, and they've all stopped moving, and the power's back off again. And then your comm system kicks in.
Cam. 2R.
Yep, and that's when you hear, don't power anything up. The ship's going to try to kill us.
I can vouch for that. 2R, can you maybe don't bring that droid, but maybe like Timmy or 2? I'm going to need something.
Yes, I'm sure I can bring something over. No need to be ridiculous about the droid. It will probably be weeks before the medical droid is attached and functional.
That's the
You-
sweetest thing I've heard you say all day.
You flesh bags and your sense of humor. Ha ha.
As you're sitting there on the floor, Rorku, and you're kind of looking at the room from a different terrified perspective, you do kind of see beyond the weapons rack to the back of this armory, and there is some ordnance there for the ship. Not a ton, but there is some ordnance there. Looks like a couple couple racks of proton torpedoes. Is primarily what, and maybe a concussion bomb.
Don't worry about that, Stimmy. I found a nav center and a little bit of ordnance for us to dress Dolores X a bit. Bring a cart, hollow cart, hover cart, and we'll see what we can't do about dressing up your lady.
Excellent. I'll gather up med supplies, hover cart, cutting tools, and things to open doors that don't want to open.
Perfect. I'm back on the docking pad of, I can't remember the name because my brain isn't working. Sparkling Circuit. Secret.
Yes.
Sparkling secret.
Honk, Wilbur, you two lead the way down the gangplank.
You know where we're going in here? You got your connections or whatever? Are you gonna?
You do have, like, on your portable version of Hollow, you have visual confirmation software for the two partisans you're supposed to be meeting with.
Okay. Anything else? Do we have like a room? Do we have?
That you'd have to check at the front desk. It is a giant casino hotel.
All right. I suppose we can start there. Get ourselves a base of operations.
Sure.
See where everybody. So yeah, I'll go to the desk and.
Right.
You guys start to walk, and Noel grabs Wilbur by the shoulder and he says, "I thought you said the war was over." And he kind of knocks his head, and you see 4 battle droids standing, like, kind of like security. The biggest thing is they've been painted black and white.
Yeah, the Trade Federation lost more or less, but there's a lot left over. So
Right.
they're probably here as, you know, security or law enforcement or something.
The nice thing about clankers is if you can find the central control unit, you can shut them all down.
Good to know.
And he kind of looks around and kind of head nods to both of you, and you see there's a lot of them. Basically just security.
Just the regular ones, no super battle droids or anything?
No super battle droids. These are just your regular run-of-the-mill clankers. And you kind of notice that their paint job is almost sort of looks like a tuxedos. Star Wars tuxedos.
Speaking of, I think like everyone here is pretty fancy, right? Like this is a pretty fancy casino.
It looks like it.
I feel like, is there like a gift shop or a clothing store?
I mean,
he can go dress himself.
I was gonna say, I don't know if I have any money on me.
Noel kind of looks around and he says, "I do see some more extravagantly dressed people, but no offense to you two, I do see some folks who look like they're hard travelers, just like all the three of us. And you do see some folks who they look like they are here to spend hard-earned credits fast and loosely.
Okay. All right. Well. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
So you
Yeah.
make it to the desk, and there's a human there who has some cybernetic implants. They look up at you and they say, "Can I help you?"
Holo. Do we have any rooms reserved or anything here for?
You hold Holo up, and she basically scans forward huge lines of code that the person at the front desk meets with a kind of a light off of their implanted eyepiece, and says, all the arrangements have been made.
Oh,
I'll have
excellent.
this droid show you to your room. And one of the little like scooter droids comes out from underneath the desk and starts to lead you through this massive complex. So as you go through the hallway, there's like I can't think what it's called in Star Wars anymore. Basically see-through shielding. And you can see out into a big open area, and then kind of more towards the middle of this complex. And you see a Durasteel circle, and there appears to be some type of fighting event going on, and there's hundreds of people cheering, and that's at about the same time you see through these large sized tunnel pieces, a speeder bikes race through and shoot back around. And you actually can look all the way to the outside of the station, and you see them out like drifting in space to shoot back in. Like it must be some type of race. And you're eventually led to a rather large and impressive suite.
Sweet.
The droid scans the door, and when he scans the door, a small chip comes out into your hand welber, and you're able to easily open the door with this chip, and you're inside.
Well, nice digs. This is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been in some casinos in my boxing days, but nothing this. I guess I just wasn't that successful.
Yeah,
This feels very, very easy.
I mean, I guess, like, if you got a hotel room, it should be a pretty easy process. Like, especially a high-end place like this, they pride themselves on customer service. So there should be like concierges and the sommeliers and meat guys.
As Honk says that, a hollow pops up in the middle of a central table, and lets you know that your prearranged meeting has been postponed until after the fortuity or folly game that has been arranged, and you've been invited to attend.
Oh, all right.
Fortuity or folly?
Yeah. Do either of us know what that is?
You are pretty sure. I'll say, Wilbur, you have a decent idea. It's some type of an old bastardized version of a chess game of chance.
Okay.
It's built around being able to recognize odds and predict pattern to bet on those patterns and odds.
It's a numbers game. I never got into it too much, but I'd heard about it. I don't know if I'd be any good at it, but
One way to find out, I guess.
I have a choice.
I find games of chance are rarely actually based on chance. So perhaps we we maybe stack the odds in our favor.
I'm listening.
I'm not against it.
Noel waves his two fingers and a little hollow invite shuts off. And he kind of halfway smiles and he says, if I have enough of a window of, let's say, distraction, I think the odds will forever be in our favor.
Distractions we can do.
Yeah, pretty good at
I,
distractions.
it's been a very distracting few days, I gotta say.
A wall panel opens and there is a myriad set of fancier clothing choices if you so choose to use them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go rifle through that.
Surprisingly enough, there's stuff that would fit you.
Perfect.
All
All right.
Anything I can dude up with.
Yeah, you both are able to find some very appropriate attire for a couple black hats.
All right.
Noel does the same, ditching his mixed match of Imperial. You make your way into a large room that has numerous tables going, but this seems like it's sealed off from the primary, open to the public rooms. Sitting at this table, you see the two individuals on your hollow readout. Uwid Gore is kind of a middle-aged near human, looks a little scruffy, but not quite a nerf herder. And Lork is a Clatunian. So he looks like Plo Koon, I think was a Clatunian. And they are playing this chess dice game. At the same table are two what look to be very, very rich individuals who are also betting, as well as what looks to be someone in more your line of work, Wilbur, who is kind of chilling there and not playing every hand or every role, but is periodically doing that. And last but not least, there is what look to be a couple individuals who, they're dressed almost like corporate security, but they're wearing a insignia you do not recognize.
I'll make sure Noel and Honk are aware that those are who I'm after or here to interact with anyway.
As you're kind of doing that, your brain kind of you hit a kind of point of, oh crap, I know who that is. You notice that the bounty hunter is Devil Pomp. She has bright green skin and her hair is standing up in multiple colors. And you know that she is kind of not to be trifled with. She generally is a lone hunter, though, and doesn't generally operate with a crew. So,
do I know who she's been working for lately?
Not lately. You've been out of the loop long enough that alliances and employment change pretty frequently in your old line of service. But she looks to be sort of, like I said, just kind of playing the hands very laid back, almost listening more than playing.
All right, well, who wants to play?
Sure, I'll play. Why not?
I'll keep an eye on things.
I'll,
Noel starts to sort of case the room a little bit.
Walks over to one of the chairs and uses his little space belt to go boop, 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 up to the high height of the chair. That's it.
You sit down and immediately Gore just starts to laugh, and he's just kind of like him and Lore kind of bump, elbows with each other, kind of laughing. Like, I played a lot of games. I've been in a lot of halls. I never played no chiss with a Jawa before.
Yeah, well, first time for everything, right?
Name's Ewood.
Ewan.
Ewood.
Ewid.
Ewood.
Ewid.
Close enough.
Okay. I'm Honk
Wilbur.
of the Khaleesi family of Jawas. We're very important.
He is a doctor. I've never met a Jawa doctor before.
They both start laughing, and you go from that good-natured laughing to the two individuals who very much appear to be very rich are mocking you. Their laughter is far more snide in tone.
Honk fully ignores them.
It's fair. I would like you both to kind of tell me what you see around the room.
I think Honk is trying to he's kind of trying to like feel out the room a little bit, and I think he is trying to figure out how this game works. And by watching,
you look at it and you're like, you have a rudimentary knowledge of who the chiss are and how it's a lot of like the chiss act in like layers and layers and layers of subterfuge, move, counter move, counter move. This seems overtly simple. It's them rolling 2 cubes, and you're just kind of like, I don't really see strategy.
Can you imagine playing a game where all you do is roll 2 cubes?
I know.
It's so funny.
Maddening.
Yeah, I'm just kind of watching, seeing how our what our targets are up to, and keeping an Noel out of the corner of my eye, just making sure he doesn't give me any kind of a signal.
At that point, a droid brings you a drink, Wilbur.
Oh, all right.
Wait, just a second, Wilbur, just a second. And Honk reaches into his little bandolier, which he's wearing like suspenders under his vest, and he produces a little tablet. And he puts it in the drink.
Yeah, I mean it's clean.
Okay, it's clean. It's clean. No one's.
I good. I think don't. I mean, I wasn't just gonna chug it, but I appreciate.
No, I know. That's why
you do that.
Tablet in there
everybody
before
around
you
the
could
table,
do it.
As you do that, everyone around the table starts to look at their drink like, what? What?
Sorry, only friends get tablets.
At that point, you look over, Wilbur, and you see a hooded woman and an individual in Mandalorian armor, and the Mandalorian points at you like kind of a recognition, like, I know who you are. And the woman she's standing behind raises her glass to you and drinks and appears to be playing a different game.
We saw you across the room and we liked your vibe.
You're just throwing it out there now, too.
All right, Mandalorians, this could get interesting.
So as you're playing, it goes on. Do you guys want to play or just want to set and kind of observe and play a little bit? Kind of like, okay,
Honk would like to take these people. Honk would like to take those 2 guys' money.
Okay. Do you want to play? Well, you don't have a lot of credits. Just
fine, I
remember, because 2R has all of the money.
That was never my. That was never my money, so I don't even know about it.
So-
I'm gonna, just bank on selling some leg meat, Leah. If I,
Well, you always can sell to Rondell.
I don't know. We'll see how this goes.
So as you're, you kind of watch a few playthroughs and you see credits change hands. The cubes come around to you. Do you want to, let's say, we'll just make it easy. Do you want to wage low, medium, or high? Honk?
I'll start medium.
Okay, medium. I would like you to roll me 2 6-sided dice, please. And
I happen to have 2 hands. So, I rolled a 6 and a 4.
so a 10.
10 total.
You recognize with that 10, you lose the hand.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay.
Next hand comes up. I mean, your credits are distributed to all the other players. Next hand comes up.
This game is stupid.
Do you wanna play or
No, I'll play
or-
again.
okay?
I'll play again.
Let's have that roll.
That's a 6.
I take that back. You did not lose just the pot belt on the last hand. Same thing here. You didn't lose the pot belts, and everyone becomes a little more intrigued. So you've made 2 medium bets. So along with others' bets, the pot is getting to be a decent amount of credits. You want to continue?
Do I get the sense that this is like if people can bow out, they can be like, nope, I'm not putting more money in. If it's getting too rich, I'll bet high.
So you see at that point, LaPalm, she bows out and kind of kicks her feet up on the side of the table and begins to just look around the room. One of the rich people who you've heard their names down passing, the male is Goldus and the female is Tollus, and their last name is Fret. Goldus bows, but Tollus kind of stares at the two of you almost in a like a I'm going to wait you out type of thing. And Eowyn bows out, but Lork stays in. You put in a larger pile of credits, and they all kind of look at each other, and there's this kind of a slight look of like, somebody's going to get paid. You can make that sweet, sweet roll.
5,
What were the 2 numbers?
3, and 2.
Your 2, as it starts to roll onto itself, rolls over to a 4. And you win the pot.
That was close. Woo.
The droid scans, looks at you with statistical and probability. Well played.
Thank you. It's nice to be recognized.
Lork looks at Ewood and goes, I'm out. That was it. Shore leave's over.
That's fun playing with you.
Goldust says, wait. I believe we were here to conduct some business, and this table was for those individuals looking to conduct said business. My partner and I still have more than enough credits to make the necessary purchase. Diva LaPomp drops her feet up. She goes, fucking finally! Jesus! You guys are going to run me out of fuel money the way this was going. Are we ready to do this? Because my employer is getting tired of sitting on their hands. Ewood kind of looks over at Honk and Wilbur and says, I'm assuming this is why you're also at my table.
You're not wrong.
The droid pushes a button in the middle and a dome starts to fill over the top of your seating area. And then a gentleman walks in. wearing a similar outfit as the other, what look to be corporate security, but they're not corporate security. Walks in and he's wearing some sort of like helm. He's wearing like a black kind of one of those, like, it's like a robe, but not a robe and not a trench coat. It's got no sleeves. Everything. Star Wars clothes. He's wearing Star Wars clothes. He walks and the guys kind of fold in behind him and he walks up. He says, I believe there was one more seat. And the field, as he pulls up a chit, the field opens and he walks in. You look around and Noel is on the other side of the field and has this alarmed look on his face at the arrival of this other person. Like he's almost stunned, like he's like stuck and can't move.
Honk would notice this, but he's busy like scooping in.
There's enough credits. It's going to be a pain in the ass for you to carry unless you get it digitized.
Don't care. Just join the feel of it. I'm going to dive into these later. Wait, what? What's this bubble thing?
It lowers down and you go into a secured room. Well, no reason being coy about it. My partner and I have come across some information, the sensitive kind. And while we've already made sure that it's gotten into the hands of our leadership, we're looking to make a little on the side. So I guess we'll start the bidding at 10,000 credits.
How much did I win?
You won about 15,000 credits.
All right. Sure. 10,001.
They kind of look at each other and they start laughing. And Lorik says, I'm half-ass tempted just to give it to the Jawa just because of shit like that.
Yeah, let's do it. Bingo bango. We're done here. Thanks, everybody.
Ewood says, oh, you're just pissed because he took all your money. Well, Goldus, Tolus, I'm assuming you, and they push across a data pad. And they say, we see no reason to engage in parlor games.
It's not that expensive with the data pad. It's not even.
He looks at it and he
close
looks
to
down and goes,
10,001 credits.
he looks down and says, well, that's 11,000 credits.
11,001.
The new person wearing the helm that covers them from eyes up says 14,000.
14,001. I hope they
Devil
it gets worse like every time. It's like it
Devil
hits really hard the
says,
first time.
I don't have time for this. 21,000.
Why are you like this? What do you got, Wilbur? What do you got?
I mean, I don't have that. I don't even know how much they gave us to begin with.
21,001.
21,000 is not a whole lot.
No,
I believe Alari Marin gave you far more than that.
yeah, I just don't have it.
The couple push the data pad back across, and you see Ewood, Elbow, Lork, and they look down at it, and both of them smile really big. Well,
What?
Deva says 50 is my final offer for my employer. I suggest you take it.
We're prepared.
50,000 And one.
Everyone kind of looks very annoyed at Honk,
Honk
except
is
for
bad.
Ewood
That's right.
and Lork. Except for Ewood and Lork, who thinks this is the funniest shit they've seen in quite some time. You do have access to Hollow Wilbur.
Oh, that's true. Well, the bid stands.
Do you want to raise the bid, or did you raise the bid? I'm sorry. Honk.
Yeah,
by one.
2001.
Devil LaPomp stands up, looks around, and she's like, I feel bad for everyone in this room. Well, I'll see you. And she starts to walk towards an opening that slides open. She's like, and I'll see you way before you see me. And she walks out.
You were more fun when you were winning.
The two kind of dilettantes are kind of whispering back and forth. The gentleman with the two troopers takes Devil LaPomp's seat, and they flank him on the sides. He kind of takes a deep breath and he says, Gore, Lork, I think you know me well enough to know that I possibly don't have the bid I'm about to make. But you also know we have a shared interest here. So I'm willing to make that offer. And as collateral, I will ensure that you have a blacklisted ship waiting for you on the outskirts of the system. Because I can pretty much guarantee your jilted friend there is going to be looking for what you arrived in. 73,000 credits in the ship.
And this ship.
They kind of look at each other, and Lork goes, I like this guy. I like this guy. So let me see the specs on the ship. And he passes the Clatunian. It's not a Clatunian, it's a Clatonian. Whatever breeding mass Jedi guy is. I can never remember. And there's Clatunians, but there's Clatonians as well. Come on, George. Help a brother out.
Just throw a note in there.
And he starts looking through the schematics on a data pad, and he shows them to Ewood, and he's just like, yeah, that's a spicy meatball. Goldus and Tolis stand up. Goldus straightens his very ostentatious outfit. Says, well, I regret we were unable to come to an amicable financial agreement. But I'm sure we'll be in touch once again. I'm sure we'll be in touch probably with all of you. Good evening.
Don't let the bubble hit your ass on the way out.
He walks out very dignified, not a sore loser at all, just kind of, but Tolis is staring you all in a way that makes you feel like if she had a blaster, she would Rorku you to all to death. So it's just you, the unknown helmeted individual, and then Lork and Eowyd in the room.
We don't have a ship.
We don't. Hey, shut up. He leans in. He's like, we have a ship. Friends have a ship. Right? If they come out, we don't need the ship. We got.
Well, we can give him more money and protection from the team.
Is 4 speeder bikes worth more than a ship?
I don't think 4 speeder bikes is going to be enough. The helmeted man says.
I'm not talking to you. You're extremely rude.
One thing you both realize is you were very quiet, and somehow he could still hear you.
Excuse me.
I just believe in putting all of our cards on the table. Takes his helmet off and sets it down.
Sir, this is a dice game.
He is an older gentleman with a white hair and like a back top knot, and he's got a huge scar running across his forehead over one of his eyes that's white.
I see you have nothing to hide.
I don't think you know who I am, which is fine by me, but
I
I'm not bidding for information just for the petty thought of having it. Just like these gentlemen over here, even though we don't always agree on tactics, I need that information.
Why?
The potential future of a restored republic is at stake.
I believe him.
Eowyn kind of looks and he says, Honk, was it?
Yeah, it's Honk.
Wilbur? General Ram Koda.
Do we know who that is?
He was a Jedi.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
But
currently operating on the Outer Rim, where talk is he's been building a small army and has been holding off Imperial forces in different systems. So not like a warlord, but basically very much like an early rebellion.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume that this gets relayed to Honk without playing it out.
Yeah. I'm sure
like,
Wilbur would be like, "Oh, I know who that guy is."
So we're like on the same side. Right?
And
Oh wait,
you
no,
also know that
yours
the
was
two-
for shady reasons, and his is for like virtuous reasons.
Just as you well know, the two gentlemen you're buying the information are partisans, which that means that they work underneath Saw Gerrera. So they are also rebels, but very, very nasty rebels who really never stop fighting the Clone Wars.
Well, he can hear. He's going to listen to my thought. Oh, this is such a man. Jedi's are pieces of shit.
Well, since we're all sitting here with nothing left to hide from one another, I'd certainly like to know who fronted you all the money.
I actually don't know. So
he looks at you and his eyes slightly flicker closed, and he says, "You don't." And then he turns and looks at Wilbur.
he already knows.
I mean, you might as well give it up.
Well, I mean, I don't feel like I even need to tell you at this point. It seems like you're one step ahead of us.
Not in this case. I know you're not ISB like the last two were. And when he says that, Eowyn and Lork look at each other like, what? Like those two assholes were ISB agents?
If you've got ISB, I've got pills for that.
There's not pills to get rid of this sort of pain in your ass.
I was sent by Alari Marin.
He kind of looks and he crinkles his brow and looks thoughtful and he goes, "Well, why the hell would she want? Wait a second. I thought I knew who you were." And he stands up and he ignites his lightsaber and he says, "Assassin."
Wait, what? Excuse
and we go
me?
back to the moon.
What? Yo.
To the moon!
Why are you like this?
You love it. You I want that t-shirt so bad. Cam, Rorku, 2R, you've been able to load up 2 full racks, so a total of 16 proton torpedoes, which I believe your ship has the launching capability of. The big thing, though, you were able to load on is 1 workable concussion bomb, very similar to what they'd used on you earlier. The wonderful, I guess it's not a concussion bomb that Django used. I can't think of what it's called now. Like a sonic depth charge, basically.
Yeah.
You have 1 of those, but you also have components to be able to build more. But you do realize a lot of these components are kind of unstable, and unless they're housed correctly, could cause a lot more problems than they are good.
They're a sonic or seismic charges.
Seismic charge. Gosh darn it. Thank you, James. I knew you'd know. I just could not. I'm having a big muggle struggle night tonight. So
Also, Clatuinians are like the dog face species from Boba Fett.
yeah.
Lokun's Keldoran. Or he's
Keldorn. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Keldor is the species.
That's what I meant the whole time and was
Nerding hard.
Well, I mean, I can see where you can confuse him with Skeletor. So
come on, George.
Yeah.
Come on. All right. You also
lube.
You also are able to show to all of the droid armaments, and these are all fitted TR to where with very little work you could add these to your systems. And there's a wide variety and array.
Well, I'll grab one of each just to have options down the road.
The one thing you realize about all of these, because there's like 15 different options, is none of these are hidden. These are very overt weapons. These are pirate weapons. So they're like, we're pirates. We're robot pirates. We're the crushed pirates of Bastoon. Get over it. So it's one of those things where you're like, if I have these, it's not like I can hide it.
Yeah. I'll snag the 3 biggest, meanest, and then just saving for a rainy day.
You find one piece, it's like a backpack, and it looks like it's got like a line on the back, and it folds forward, and it is some sort of rudimentary souped up railgun. You reach back and slap an object into it, and it charges it and shoots it. So you could grab anything, and it's going to hypercharge it and launch it. It could be a rock. It could be a piece of food. It could be a cup. Anything becomes a weapon when you have this on your back. You also realize this is something that would need a lot of maintenance, because discharging these oddly shaped objects fully charged with energy is probably really hard on it. You find a very wicked looking vibro cutlass.
Cool. Any arms?
All of these, I mean, everything he's not taking basically is attachment to arms.
But are there
like just plain arms now? I mean, I'm sure you go around the ship and find some out of all the droids that have been...
I think on the way back, I'm gonna like grab a collection of arms.
Fair.
Because we got a droid who'd like an arm, and like looking out for our buddies. They look out for us, and occasionally...
Do you know he needs an arm? Oh yeah, you were on the ship with him initially.
Yeah.
No, you don't know he needs an arm. You know he needs a leg, because Wilbur's the one who tore that arm off, and you were already going.
Oh, all right, legs. I'm gonna grab legs.
Okay, perfect.
We're gonna show up and be like, "Look at all these legs I got for." Oh, son of a.
That is incredibly kind of you. I, as you can see, no longer need lower appendages. However,
it's just gonna be full on freaking Modlock. He's so excited to have legs. It's going to be all.
He's going to look like Maul after he came back. He get his spider leg on.
The last item you find to R is what it looks like a staff. And when you activate it, 4 little prods come out and they drop 4 vibro blades, and you twist the haft and it can start to spin, but it almost looks like an anchor before that. In fact, you think that maybe sometimes what it's used for is an actual anchor to throw, like a boarding anchor. But also with those 4 vibro blades attached to it, if you throw that onto someone, activate it and pull, they're going to have multiple holes in them. It's a nasty looking piece of equipment, but it's
Okay.
big enough. It's not something like you can hide. It's one of those things where you're gonna have to carry it around like a staff. So that's what you find.
All right.
You guys work on the ship, so we're kind of catching time up to where the other group is. You work on the ship, and you're able to get it in a situation where definitely flyable, definitely able to go into hyperspace. You were able to move most of the Nava room that Rorku found, but you don't have it hooked up. It would take some time to put that together, but you were able to take all of kind of those pirate routes related to shipping routes. You weren't able to upgrade any of the weapons currently, but you were able to get the shields back online. Your sublight booster is in place, and you can rock and roll.
All
I
right.
would advise against getting into a lot of gunfights, though.
I mean, that
No
wasn't
promises.
the goal initially.
Hey, we don't need to get in gunfights. We've got seismic charges.
One seismic
We've
charge.
got seismic
Yeah.
charge it.
All right.
Yeah, I guess if all the things we need to travel are up and running, and all the hull gaps are sealed.
Yep. I mean, you know,
then-
your ship's pretty good at taking a beating anyway,
Yeah.
but it would not be able to survive a beating like it's taken thus far.
All right.
Fair.
Where are you headed?
Where we're supposed to go.
All right.
Going to
You
the
put
casino.
in the coordinates for Ord Mantell and the Sparkling Secret, and you punch the hyperdrive. You arrive in system, and you're able to navigate easily to the Sparkling Secret, even though your readout tells you that this station is, in a way, almost cloaked. Like, it requires a certain set of coordinates as well as passcodes to get to. You realize the coordinates were easy for you to find. Passcode, unless you downloaded the information from a holo earlier, you don't have.
Wouldn't we have gotten that from Alari Marin when we got everything else to go do this?
Those would have come with holo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, that being said, you do have a lot of credits.
We do. Oh yeah, we do. Also,
I think-
legs. So many legs.
Plenty of legs.
Do you want to hail the station?
Yeah.
You hail the station. You see a small swarm of Z95 headhunters kind of drop, and they're circling, not in an aggressive fashion, but definitely in a, like, if you do some shady shit, they're going to fire. Almost like a hard escort.
That's White Trash Lando's
Yeah,
first
white
big hit.
hard escort.
Hard escort.
You've
Sorry.
reached the Sparkling Secret, a hotel and casino by invite only. How may we assist you?
We were invited to attend a meeting. I am the onboard pilot and am
Your
seeking a spot to land.
Your transponder code does not match any of the codes in system.
One moment while I double check that all settings are correct. Do we have, this had a thing that generates different transponders, correct?
It does. Yep, you had that installed. So yes.
He's going to go to that, and I'm going to try to hack their list.
Ooh, interesting. All right, make me that. I would like you to. That's interesting.
Would that be a hard?
I was gonna say, let's go sharp. You're not threatening or assaulting anything.
Okay.
You're not like, give me your list. You answer to me.
That would be 13.
Yeah, you're like, these fleshies have a very, very, very incompetent security system.
And I'm going to make sure that it's not just the transponder code, but it matches the type of ship.
Okay.
And then plug that in, and then dial back with I'm sorry, there was a
Transponder
malfunction.
Transponder code updated. Malfunction detected. Welcome to the Sparkling Secret. Your docking facility has been secured. So there are kind of like docks on the outside with like kind of bubbles that you attach. For yours, there's an actual Durasteel door that opens up, and you have it looks like a private docking bay.
Okay. I'm also going to radio to let them know that if they could dispatch service droids, we took some damage. Yeah.
Accommodations are being sent as we speak.
Thank you for your assistance. I will proceed with landing.
You land the vessel in a series of service droids. There's a couple gonks. There's a couple of little tiny boys flying around when you start to step off the vessel. And then a blast door opens up, and there is roughly 25 battle droids surrounding a large, I can't remember what he is. Gotta look it up in my notes. Hey, 1 second. Surrounding a large Baragwin on a very fancy hollow lift, almost like he's being carried. And he has a thing attached to his neck, and he touches it and he says, "It's very big to see you. This is a bigly event. Glad you're here. It's good. I'm glad you're here. Would be very, very sad if you weren't here. Did you bring it?"
I'm going to whisper to our, who did you tell them we are?
I mean, you brought it, right?
I'm going to recite the transponder code to Cam, also in a whispering tone. 7721 C2 2
That doesn't help.
E 772.
Hey, tell your droid to keep its pants on.
I do not wear pants.
Are you joking around the modulator of Tonaddled Ump? Because I feel like you're joking Tonaddled Ump around.
That sounds like a horrible idea.
We would never do such a thing.
I am not even programmed for that type of activity.
Second. I know you two jamooks. You're those two that went and killed those people on on HoloNet. Yeah, I watch all the HoloNet. All of them, all the time. A lot of them are fake news, but some of them, they're good. Some of them, they're all good people, but some of them are real good people.
We are good people. Yes, that is correct.
But then where is it?
We have never traveled to HoloNet.
The droid, quiet, or I get my boys to quiet for you.
TR will give a little bow and then walk back onto the ship and start connecting the railgun.
Well, did you bring it or not? I got buyers on the hook for this thing that Dooku had, and I want it. I need the money.
What's the going rate?
No. There's no renegotiation.
No, we're not renegotiating.
Tonaddled Ump already made the negotiations. I'm a winner. Don't make me make you losers.
We can't. We're bounty hunters. We can't be both things.
He kind of looks around at the droids like, what? And they kind of look back at him and like, some of them raise their guns like uncertainly in an uncertain fashion. And he's like, no, you knuckleheads. You're supposed to say, yeah. You're supposed to say, yeah, Todadal Ump is right. Stupid droids.
Yeah, Todadal Ump is absolutely correct.
Ah, hey, I like this guy.
We have many things to deliver for many people, and so my friend here, he's probably confused. Some people are smart, some people aren't so smart. So if you could remind us in the long list of the things we need to ensure get to the right people. We just want to make sure we're giving you the right thing. We're not questioning whether you've already taken care of business. We're not business people. We're bounty hunters. We're just delivering, hot, cold, or otherwise.
The relic. Bring me the relic.
Do we have the relic?
I don't know, relic.
Let me go.
Do I look like some slug on Tatooine who doesn't know how to run its organization? I'm the best of running organizations. The transponder code equates that you are who was supposed to bring me the relic.
Let's go. We'll be right back. I think our droid was looking.
One of you can go. The other one can stay.
Cam, why don't you go check with 2R and go through our relic database, make sure that we pick out the best, the most bigly, the most corresponding
all
to
this fancy talk and all
His
this
Eminence.
thing that's mine. It's all mine. It's all of this is mine. The ship should be mine. I can make it mine if I want to.
While I go to look for it, do you want to remind me what it looks like?
He looks and he kind of looks nervously and he goes, you know what it looks like. I don't pay you to ask me what it looks like. You get the distinct impression he has no fucking clue what it looks like.
All right, we'll be back. And then I'll go up on the ship. So 2R.
I am nearly ready to give it to him.
I see the railgun apparatus. I'm like, not yet. He doesn't quite know what he's looking for. We do have all those seismic charge components. We could give him something he might not want, but he probably needs.
So while you're having this conversation, Rorku, you're standing out there and it's like kind of uncomfortable quiet.
Yeah. Could
I?
Donald
looks down at you and he says, you have think about working, like for me?
What
like not like this little errand boy effort I need you to go through. No, I mean like like security. I'm always looking to. He kind of leans his mask towards you and he says, "Boys, earmuffs," and all the droids put their hands up to their non-existent ears, and he says, "I'm always looking to upgrade, but I need to know, are you the loyal sort? I saw what you did on the holonet, and I liked it. It was very bigly of you."
We do what we're paid to do, and
it looks like you put the extra work in there, and I like that. You gotta be strong. You gotta let your enemies know you're strong. And Todonald Ump has a lot of enemies. Everyone is trying to betray me. Everyone betray me. Shout out to Tommy Americana. Everyone betray me.
We also have dealt with people that are less than upfront, and we don't appreciate that.
Rats in the walls.
Yeah, we don't kill because we're heartless people. We kill because that is what we were sent to do, and the
That's what I'm talking about.
stakes changed. We know that Barguins are very good business species.
Bogwins are a great business species.
The
but
best.
To Donald Ump is the best, bigliest business being in the whole mid-rim. Period, exclamation point, ellipses, end of story. Ask around. Everyone will tell you how great I am.
I have.
And he looks at the droids and he whacks one in the head and says, tell him he's great. And they all just like mimic it back. Like, he's great, he's great, he's great, he's great, he's great.
What's
Your
it
buddy's
pay?
been in there for a long time.
Well, we have a lot of relics, and we've been delivering a lot, and so
I
it's
just thought he might have the. I know sometimes when you're flying, you don't have good access to good food, and you can get the space trots.
he could very well have the space trots. We have been a long time in between ports, so the rations have gotten a little dicey. But
His hover lowers, so he's just barely now looming over you instead of looming over you from a great height. He puts his massive paw of a hand on your shoulder, and he says, I like you, lizard. You seem like the kind of guy that could work for me. And then he starts to squeeze, and he says, but if I don't get my credits, I'm going to steal your ship. I'm going to melt down your droid. And I'm going to jettison you and that pipsqueak into space. And then I'm going to let my boys use you for target practice.
As he's been doing this, I'm like typing into my corresponder oldest leg to Cam, and we're gonna see if he gets that.
Shit, that's great.
Because he said,
because Cam is you and TR are talking. Your transponder just lights up like you're getting text messages, and it's just oldest leg, oldest leg, oldest leg.
So this concussive device, you
You're
will
muted,
have to
Cam.
fire it from the railgun.
Too
It's
big.
an interesting idea, Cam.
You're
Too big. You're muted, Cam.
Oh, of course I am. No, I was thinking we put it, take a case, put the device in there, and just have him take it. But we'll give him a leg. He doesn't know any better. We don't have to blow him up yet.
He's very rude.
Yes, but he'll get his when he tries to deliver this, and it's not the right thing.
Fine. I will leave the railgun on for now, just in case.
So I'll find an appropriate. Go ahead.
I was going to say, with that, 2R's going to start doing mechanical fix-up, radio the service droids.
All right, and I'll find an appropriate case for the oldest leg we have.
Okay,
And,
you're able to find a reasonable case for it, and you grab the oldest leg, and you bring it out. And you notice that Donald Ump is leaning on Rorku and whispering in a loud manner. Like he thinks he's whispering, but he's just being loud.
Sorry it took so long. Nervous poops.
Oh, see? He bumps Rorku and says, I told you. I seen it before. Space trots.
Gets you every time.
You're not eating that good food. Once we can finish conducting our business, I'll make sure you get a good spread.
Sounds good. Here's your artifact.
He looks at it and kind of looks at the case. He says, let's take a gander, boys. And two of the droids come over and they take it from you and they open it up. And he looks at it and he goes, what the fuck would Count Dooku want a droid leg for? And now we'll go back to the negotiating room.
And one.
All right. Wilbur, Ram Koda has his lightsaber out.
What? You can take this one, Will.
He's like,
I was just like, whoa! Whoa!
Say that it was off the table, but it was not the plan specifically to assassinate anybody.
he shuts it down. He goes, "Why don't you sit down and tell me exactly what was going on? Let's start with who you were working for." So you relay to him the story. If you want to see that story, you can watch the episode from Extra Life. When you finish, he looks at you and he says, "So this Marin, she's causing problems and close to the core. And that's why they asked you to kill her?" It's funny that all of us are in a room together, considering we all want the same thing. We're just coming at it from different angles.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that we haven't killed each other, seeing as how we're all more or less headed in the same direction.
Ewan and Lork look at each other and they said, "Well, why don't we do a favor to all of us? How about you all pay us and we'll give it to both of you?"
I mean, it's not my money.
Coda kind of looks around, he nods his head, and one of his troops pulls out what looks like another data pad, but it looks far more secure, and they slide it across the table. I said, "There it is, including transponder codes and all the information to take that ship." I says, "Boys, don't wreck that ship. Me and that ship had a lot of good times together. And at some point, I'd like it back." So, Honk, Wilbur, how are we going to pay for this?
I don't.
We never agreed on a price.
We never agreed on a price.
Ewan looks at it, he goes, "You're funny, but you ain't that funny. I believe you said 50,001.
I did say 50,001. I just wasn't okay. Sure, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
We got like a
50,000.
bunch of. We got like a ton of shit. We can get you.
He looks at Lork, and Lork
And-
looks at you guys, and he goes, "Oh, it's going to be a shame to kill you two assholes."
No.
And they both pull their guns out, and that's where we're
Wait.
going to stop.
No. No. Oh man.
Didn't even get a chance to
Oh, buddy.
fan service Gamorrean wristwatch.
How about everybody goes around the table and tells everybody who you are, who you be with, and where they can find you?
You're still muted.
Muted.
All right.
I'm just
Try
going to
this
start
again.
calling you Mute.
The
Mute
internet's
dog.
foremost mime.
Ah, yes. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Cubicle Zombie. You can also find me on this very channel every other Monday and every other Tuesday. Mondays are Down and Outlands, where I play a wonderful little Otterkin Rogue Warlock. And Tuesdays, I am an Owlin Wizard. Also wonderful.
Hopefully. Nate, did you sign up for the next Chaos Scar?
Not yet.
I thought you had, but I wasn't sure. Maybe none of you signed. Well, Joel signed up. That's
Joel
right.
signed up.
Yep.
I haven't signed up yet. Spoiler alert. I'm Warrior. You can find me on the socials at WarriorMen, which it says down there already. So I'm wasting breath by saying that out loud. In addition to there, you can also find me where Nate said. I play on Mondays. I play a delightful GIF fighter, and on Tuesdays I play a very chill Minotaur. When I'm not-
Sometimes
And I also play a Knoll fighter who is messing with the balance of nature. It's fine.
He's gonna start some shit.
It's fine. When I'm not there, you can find me on my own Twitch channel every once in a while playing various games, usually Destiny 2, at twitch.tv/WarriorIMN, or over on the FreeForge Discord. More info at thefreeforge.com.
Awesome.
Hey, I'm James. You can find me on Twitter, Huey Beardwalks, and on Instagram, Up Your Architecture. You can also find me being the Drake Warden on Tuesday, every other Tuesday here on twitch.tv/KnownWorldUnited. And occasionally you can find me on Heel Turn Radio for Tiny Mang Tuesdays with two of our friends here, namely Matt and your King Ginger, as well as Fridays on occasion for Bad at Games. What are we bad at this week? Tune in to find out.
Or I'll just tell you.
And then also Extra Life, always extra-life.org. Search Known World United. We're out to raise funds to help support Gillette Children's specialty healthcare here in Minneapolis and St. Paul and the greater Minnesota area. So always worth it to support those kids.
Just like Wu-Tang, it's for the kids.
Matt, you can find me on Twitter at HypnoHustlin, or on Instagram at HypnoHustlers_custom every Tuesday on the Heel Turn / Dave Wonder channels, doing Tiny Ming Tuesdays. Many a Sunday on I think it's on Known World United.
Yep.
For prep school, doing all kinds of random gaming type stuff, and yeah, probably more of this at some point in the future when I get all my poop in a group. You are muted.
You are muted.
Not just me.
Damn it. I'm Joel. You can find me.
Dubbing you.
Just all of us. On the socials at Finger Twitchings. I should start streaming again. We're close to Extra Life. That's usually beneficial. You can find me every other Tuesday with Nate and Ryan and James, where I play Becker Stokes, the Forge Domain cleric / fighter, who I would say is fairly chill. And then you can find me, obviously, here when we play this. And then last but not least, you can find my book, Party Starters, Volume 1, on the Apple Book platform or Drive-Thru RPG. It is a collection of art, backstories, and stats for characters should you need a bunch either as NPCs or to get a bunch of newcomers up to speed playing the game without having to go through character creation.
Great product. I highly encourage everyone to go out and purchase it. Well worth the money. I'm your King Ginger, and you can find me every other Monday down in Outlands, where I continue to try to put shitty little kids through horrible paces across the multiverse. You can find me one Monday a month running different groups into the Chaos Scar. Anyone interested in potentially playing in a session should reach out to myself. You can also find me on Fridays, Bad at Games, as Beard stated. It doesn't matter what we're playing. I'm probably going to be bad at it. And then Saturdays, Saturdays. Saturdays you can find me generally walking, but I'm not going to stream it. Sundays, prep school, 10 o'clock in the morning on Known World United. I'm very excited because this coming Sunday, and that means in the past for you, Matt and I decided to work on a surprise project that I sprung on everybody late Monday night. I'm very excited. It's the next mini series I'm going to be running after we complete this mini max series. Let's just say it's got a little bit of Descent in Avernus as far as the infernal vehicles, and a whole lot of orky goodness. So D&D Gorka Morka, kind of. Otherwise, I want to say thank you to all of these beautiful, beautiful boys who joined and are crafting such a really fun tale for all of you to enjoy. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the maybe final episode. Who knows? I don't know. Bye.